Good morning, folks. Another beautiful day here. A little chilly in the garage, but on today's episode, we're going to be covering a few things. I'm going to give you guys an overview of all the fittings that I'm going to be using for my fuel system, because I've had a few people say, hey, what are you doing for this and that? So I'm going to give you guys a blanket overview on all of the fittings I'm going to use. I'm not going to show you all of them because some of them are in the car, in the fuel tank, but I'm going to explain where they are, why they're there, and where they're going to go. I'm going to test fit to a degree the hood to show how far off it's going to be from fitting. And I'm undecided if I'm going to cut that hood to fit, if I'm going to run no hood, or what exactly I'm going to do. So yeah, let's get to it. So as you guys can tell, I'm using Aeromotive pretty much everything except for the fuel rail. So in the fuel tank, I'm using the Aeromotive Fox body tank that has the built-in A1000 pump. And from that, I'm using the A1000 regulator, which has -6 and -10 ports. These are ORB ports. So I'm using a -6 to -8 return. This is a -8 to -10. I think they call them a bulkhead, something like that. -10 to -8 ORB for the side. Mounting it straight to the fuel rail. Some people don't like it. I don't want to have to drill more holes in my car for right now. -8 to -8 with a 90 is going to go to the -8 straight to the Y, which will have another straight on it. And I picked up this 45 to see how it's going to fit in the car. If I can make the 45 look and work better, I'll use it, but the straight should work no matter what. Then it's the Aeromotive fuel filter, which is also -10 on both ends. So you have to have -10 to -8 if you want to run -8 fuel line, which these are PTFE fuel fittings. You can tell because they have the flare on the ends instead of being straight cut. Imagine there's a fuel tank here. Fuel tank comes -8 on the outlet ports. So I'm going -8 ORB to fitting, which is then going to go to hose fitting straights off the tank. This is the return, that's the feed. PTFE hoses everywhere. And on the fuel rails themselves, the other fuel rail is going to have two -8 to -8s with 90s off the bottom of both of them, because they're both going to connect the back side of the motor, which is here. The fireball's going to be about here. So the back side of the motor comes down. It's going to meet up to the Y, and then they're going to cross to each other. I think it's the passenger side fuel rail is going to feed into one of the ports on the regulator, which then the return port goes back to the tank. So for the most part, it's pretty simple. I'm going to go over it again when I've got it on the car. When I'm building PTFE lines, I like to keep this around. Helps sliding everything together and makes the threads not want to get too barred up. I'm also putting new subframe connectors onto the Fox, so that'll be in a later video. Let me go show you the tank fittings. Just like I was saying, these are the -8 to -8 ORB fittings. Another one under the rag there. I'll have to get a little creative to get up to the fuel tank up there, but we can manage. So A1000, -8 to -8, and a lot of dust 'cause I've had this thing sitting around for about a year, but we're getting it put in. If you guys have any questions about what kind of fittings, where anything needs to go, or why something is the way it is, let me know. Last couple of things I want to show you guys. This is the -8 Aeromotive PTFE hose. I'm going with PTFE because it's ethanol proof. Ethanol will never eat through it. This theoretically should outlast your car. It's a smaller outer diameter than the regular -8 braided line for non-PTFEs. Shit. And for holding it underneath the car, because I'm changing all the fuel lines to this, I got these Vibrant Performance cushion clamps. People were saying they ran small, but I think they were trying to use the wrong ones for the wrong lines. These are the 1/2" clamps, and they fit this PTFE -8 just fine. So if you're gonna get regular -8, you might want to go up to maybe a 5/8 or a 9/16 clamp if they sell such a thing. But yeah, if you guys want any, part numbers off of any of this stuff, let me know. I'll be sure to make a video of me building all the fuel lines. But alright, let's go test fit the hood, shall we? So my hood is a pin-on hood right now. It's just one pin in each corner. I don't really have the hood on very often. When I'm at the track, I usually leave it off, but I'm wanting to use it a little more this year, so I'll probably might change it to Zeus fasteners, or maybe put hinges back in it. And I don't believe that the hood is going to fit even past the fuel regulator that should be here, but I'm gonna clean some of the shit off, grab my hood off the wall, kind of set it on. So I believe that's a 2.5" Cervantes cowl, if memory serves right. I got it used off a dude off Craigslist a couple of years ago. Alright, so let's clean it up, grab it, and slap it on. So we're going to slap it on without the upper intake first, and then maybe see if we can get a look at how much clearance there is underneath. And then we'll slap the intake loosely on top and kind of see where we need to go. So I mean, obviously with just the lower intake on, it fits with room to spare, minus the terrible body lines. So looking at it, eye level with the fender, about a foot back. It would be, I'd say it'd almost be close, but I know it's not gonna be. I'll have the upper intake bolted on. Let me grab a light, hold on. I know I left a flashlight under the hood. This car needs a detail so bad. Okay. So, we've got 3.5, 4 inches of gap, and it's hitting, come on, looks like it's hitting, oh, it's hitting that vacuum line that comes off the throttle body. Looks like it's about a 1/4 inch away from hitting the upper intake. I'm holding it open with my wallet. So to fit this forward facing intake, you need a cowl hood that by here has raised, this is what, 2 inches, so you would need about a 5-inch cowl to fit this, give or take. Okay, so with my motor, I'm a 9.5 deck 351 block car. I'm running factory style engine mounts, factory K-member, no spacing. So you might be able to, you know, get some convertible engine mounts, maybe a 1/2 inch of K-member spacing, and maybe get this down to a 4 or 3.5 inch cowl. But that's not something I want to do. I guess I'm on factory style motor mounts, which I'm using solid blocks that somebody built for this car when I bought it. If there's anything else you want to see, want me to try out, want me to do, drop it in the comments below. But I'm going to end this video off here and decide what the next part is going to be.